Chinese Identity V fans, I'm from the Western fandom wanting to discuss the new skins for the Enchantress. This video is quite long, but I'm hoping you'll stick around. As this is really important, feel free to speed the video up. Everyone who helped with this video will be mentioned in the description. Before we get into the discussion, I'd first like to apologize to any Chinese players who received any unwarranted hostility or even blatantly racist comments. They are not representative of me or the majority of those who are actually concerned about the new costumes. That being said, please do not go and act hostile towards me in the comments or anyone else who is trying to be respectful about this topic. It's simply adding on to the cycle of hate that both sides have created. This video is for those who want to try to understand our side. If you have any additional questions, you are free to comment or send me a message. Also know that I'm not trying to condemn the game itself or people who play it. I'm criticizing Identity V because it is my favorite game and I want it to be the best it can be. Finally, please note that the Chinese captions are the work of machine translation, and things may be completely mistranslated, so I apologize in advance. We all already know what the topic of this controversy is in the new costumes for the Enchantress. Her complexion is significantly lighter compared to her original design, but that's not all. You can also see that her features have been slimmed down in favor of more mainstream beauty standards. But why is this an issue? Well, Patricia is a black woman, and for centuries, black people have been subject to brutal and inhumane treatment. They were kidnapped from their homes in Africa, the Caribbean, and Mediterranean and enslaved in what would become known as American chattel slavery. The United States isn't the only place where this type of discrimination occurred. Many countries in Europe and South America developed caste systems in which black people were placed at the bottom and subjected to severe discrimination. Enslaving Africans was also an issue in those places. Due to these caste systems, black people are still treated poorly to this day. After slavery ended in the United States after 265 years, this did not bring an end to racism. Black people continued to face extreme discrimination, often at the cost of their lives because they were black. Segregation laws were introduced, forbidding black people from sharing public spaces with white people. Segregation officially ended in 1964. Many people alive today still remember living under it. We've only just scratched the surface. There is so much more history to discuss of the racial discrimination black people have faced. Slavery and racism are big themes in Patricia's backstory. She was born on a slave ship. The ship owner dropped newborn Patricia in New Orleans, where she faced a lot of discrimination growing up. However, her backstory has some issues within itself. First off, Identity V is mainly set between the late 19th century and early 20th century, which likely places it after the abolishment of slavery in the United States in 1865. It feels like they added slavery to her backstory as a shallow way to give her trauma without any regard for historical accuracy. The way the game depicts the spirit of Papa Legba as some evil demon who tempts Patricia to kill people is quite offensive. This depiction of Papa Legba and Haitian voodoo reinforces the racist tropes of black spiritual practices being evil or barbaric. I understand that Identity V is created by a Chinese company, but Identity V isn't an exclusively Chinese game. Not only is the game available globally, the characters featured are from many different cultural backgrounds. If NetEase wants to take real things like the transatlantic slave trade and racism, and poorly write a character with those themes, and with no regard to historical accuracy, I think they at the very least are obligated to keep Patricia's original skin tone and ethnic facial features. Patricia's skin color and ethnic features are important to her identity as a black Haitian woman. Making her skin lighter and changing her features downplays her identity and the discrimination her and other black people face. It also sends a more general harmful message. It suggests that pale skin and slimmer features are more favored and people with darker skin or whiter features are undesirable. This mindset is common in a lot of places around the world, such as in America, and many countries in Asia such as China. This mindset is harmful because it can lead to lower self-esteem, anxiety, among other things. Dark skin and whiter features are not something to feel bad about. They're just as beautiful and something to be celebrated just like all other skin tones and facial features. This is not the first time that Identity V has lightened the character's skin tone or changed their ethnic features. The Forward, the Cowboy, and the Batter have all had their skin tones lightened in various costumes and other depictions. And in the Forward's case, with his recent costumes and default model optimization, his wider nose has been slimmed down. Although a lot of the characters have had their features changed, it's especially important that these characters keep their features as they're important to their identity. As for the other characters, I'm not a fan of the fact that they're also having their features homogenized. It makes them not stand out as much as they used to. even causing them to be difficult to tell apart sometimes in their higher-tier costumes. Identity V also has had a history with poor and downright offensive depictions of other groups of people. There's quite a few costumes featuring poor representation of Native American culture, like the Gravekeeper's ancient ballad costume, the Priestess Misfortune costume, and Cowboy's Brave costume, to name a few. There's also many costumes misrepresenting Arab culture as well, like Magician's Blue and Platinum Aladdin costumes and Hell Pigeon costume. Now, I think this game's worst offender is the lawyer costume depicting him in literal blackface. I'm sure a lot of Chinese people know what it's like to be mocked and discriminated against. In Western media, there's a long history of something known as yellowface, in which non-Asian actors would paint their skin yellow, as well as exaggerate their eyes and mannerisms and imitate harmful Asian stereotypes to portray Asian characters. These portrayals of Chinese and other Asian people reduce them to caricatures instead of treating them like human beings. In the same way that yellowface is harmful and offensive because it mocks and distorts Asian identities, blackface has historically been used to mock and dehumanize black people. In these blackface performances, the actor would paint their skin black and exaggerate black features to mock and dehumanize black people. Actors portrayed them as less intelligent, barbaric, and less than human. Lightening Patricia and other characters' skin colors and removing their ethnic features undermines the discrimination and mockery that people with darker skin and ethnic features face. Now, I want to take the time to address some other concerns I've seen surrounding the new costumes for the enchantress. Isn't she just wearing makeup to brighten her skin? I don't believe her to be wearing skin brightening makeup. Skin brightening makeup is meant to make the skin color more even and radiant. Patricia's skin looks noticeably whiter, as in she doesn't appear to have as much melanin in her skin as before. To put it bluntly, her skin looks a bit ashy, like what happens after you don't use moisturizer for a while. But in real life, the reason you see a lot of darker skinned people look lighter after using makeup is because a lot of makeup brands simply do not have a good shade range for them. Even in the West, it can be difficult for darker skinned people to find a shade that fits them, so they usually have to settle for something either lighter or darker than their actual skin color. Not all black people are the same color. This is obviously true, but I'm not sure what it has to do with Patricia in particular, as she is a singular person and not multiple people. But Patricia is mixed. This is also true. But mixed race people don't just magically become lighter or have their features randomly change so drastically. I am mixed race, and I can confirm that we are not shapeshifters. Why are you complaining to the Chinese social medias instead of the international ones? We've tried. This isn't the first time we've tried complaining to the international accounts. And every time we're ignored. We just want our voices to be heard by the developers too. If you made it this far, then congratulations! Thank you so much for listening to me talk about this important issue. Again, please comment or message me any questions you may have. And have a great day!